I'm assuming you want to be a happy person, just live a happy life. Well, a big part of happiness is learning how to deal with suffering well. And what I mean by that is by quit making the suffering worse than it needs to be. I'll use an example, because you're probably like, learn how to suffer well. Why would I want to suffer? How am I going to be happy if I'm suffering? Well, the thing with life is, there's going to be ups and downs no matter what. I know it's like, you hear that a lot, but it's like a roller coaster. Sometimes you'll be living the peak of life, living the high life, and then the next one you could just be crashing down your way at the bottom. But it's not like just up and down like that. It could be like boom, 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 boom. It's like random. It's just up and down. There's up and downs to life. So I'll use the example of maybe you're madly in love with a girl. You're just deeply in love with a girl. If you've experienced that, keep that in mind. If you haven't, try to imagine what it'd be like, I guess. But if you're somebody who has, imagine in that moment when you are dating her, how just fun, how full of joy you are whenever you're hanging out with them. Everything's fun. You're hanging out with them. It's all fun. You love her so much. You could be doing the smallest thing, but you're still having the time of your life because you love her so much. It's like a very high point in life. Now, the next thing you know, all of a sudden, she breaks up with you. You're like, oh, what did I do? Why'd she leave me? And you're freaking out. Of course, you're madly in love with this chick, so you're going to fall to like a very low place. Now, you're probably going to be in a lot of pain over that because you love this girl so much. You went from spending all your time with her, and now she left you, and you don't even know why. So you're going to be in a lot of pain. The way people will most likely be doing this is like they'll be driving around crying like, oh, why'd she leave me? I'm in so much pain. I loved her so much. She was the best thing that ever happened to me. Like they'll be crying over it. Like, I mean, sure, they're suffering, they're in pain. So we're gonna use the girlfriend as the example of the whole video, but it could be anything. Like suffering could be like maybe you lost your job, and now you're freaking out because you don't have like a backup plan, something like that. Like there's so much pain you're gonna experience in life. And there's a duality to it. Like happiness and pain coincide. You can't have one without the other. So let's keep that in mind. But anyways, there's a Buddhist story about two arrows. You get shot with one arrow, obviously it's gonna hurt, like really bad, right? Obviously it's gonna hurt. The second arrow, if it hits the exact same spot, it's not gonna just double in pain. It's gonna be like 10x, 100x. It's gonna hurt way worse, right? Like, do you not agree? Imagine getting punched in the arm in the exact same spot. The second one hurts way more because I already got hit. Well, the person shooting the second arrow is ourselves. The first arrow is whatever happened, whatever's causing the pain. Now, the true suffering, that second arrow, comes from ourselves. It's us dwelling on it. So how are we the ones shooting ourselves with that second arrow? By dwelling on it, by complaining, by letting yourself get into this low point, by moping around, wishing it didn't happen. But the thing is, pain is inevitable. But suffering, you can avoid to an extent. Suffering is resistance. If you're sitting there resisting what happened, complaining, moping around, all the things that I just said, if you're sitting there complaining about all that, you're going to make the pain so much worse. That's how you're making yourself suffer. You got to learn to accept what happened. In the scenario with the girl, you got to stop dwelling on it. Like, to an extent, you're going to be sitting there thinking about how much you love her and wondering why she left and all this stuff. But you can minimize that. The more you think about it, the worse it's going to hurt. The worse you're going to feel about it. And the more often you're going to feel that pain because you're making yourself sit there and think about it. And you're making it worse by probably putting the blame on yourself, thinking about what you did, complaining, wishing it didn't happen. All of those things are leading the suffering to be way worse because you're resisting what happened rather than accepting it. If you were able to just fully just like, oh, she left, and just accept that reality, it wouldn't hurt nearly as bad. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but the thing is, you have the power to do that. Just stop thinking about it. And again, it's with anything. Any type of pain you're feeling like that, if you choose to just ignore it and stop complaining, stop wishing it didn't happen, just accept the reality that it happened, it's going to hurt way less. So if you're going to shoot the second arrow, at least try to hit somewhere else. Like don't hit the same exact spot. Maybe that does happen with your girl. Try to think about something else bad going on in your life. Be like, damn, she broke up with me, but man, I really did lose my job. Why did I lose my job? Think about a different scenario so you don't hit the same spot. Just hurt yourself in a different way so the pain and suffering's not quite as bad, That's just being stupid, but just try not to think about it as much. try to not complain too. Just let it be what it is. You're gonna get over it eventually. But if you stop doing those things, you'll get over it quicker and you won't suffer as much. Doing that is what I mean by learning how to suffer well. If you can learn how to get out of these suffering periods and learn how to handle it better, you're going to be a happier person because you won't be in those moments as often. If we're going back to like basically the fucking line chart that I was talking about earlier where it's all ups and downs, your ups would be a lot longer and your downs would be a lot shorter. You'd be out of the downs more often, and if you're looking at right in the middle, the flat line, you'd be above the flat line more often because you're learning how to deal with the suffering better, and you get out of those periods of moping around and being all down on yourself, talking badly about yourself quicker. So learn how to do that. Be a happier person, live a happier life. So yeah, got any value from this video? Appreciate if you subscribe. Besides that, I will see you in the next one.